going on, my people, my spirit siblings? Hey, check this. I was sitting here thinking in deep thought. Back in the days, right? You know, when I was a Christian for 30 years of my life. I'm 38 now. But check this. When I was a Christian for 30 years, I realized, Pastor had us believing that if we pay tithes and offerings, God would give us that bag, right? So I'm paying tithes and offerings for 30 years straight, and I'm noticing I didn't get that bag. And then I noticed my parents and grandparents, some of them died broke. Unlike my parents, they was like in their 60s, and they really ain't get that bag neither. And I was like, hold up, man. I really took a big look. I really scrutinized this concept. And I heard Jay-Z say it. He said, never read the Quran or Islamic scriptures. Only Psalms I read was on the arms of my niggas. Tattoos, so I carry on like I'm non-religious. Clap, whoever stand between Sean and Figures. And, big ups to Jay-Z. But he wasn't religious, and he wasn't a Christian. And I was like, I went to one of my people. I was like, hey, Jay-Z, Oprah, all these filthy rich people in the world, like, they're like super blessed financially. They don't go to church and they're not Christians. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? How come these people that getting these super financial blessings, they're not Christians, all claiming Christianity? And that's when I realized, man, Pastor lying. Pastor gotta be lying. Cause I'd be damned if I go to church 60-something years of my life expecting that bag off of faith alone from God. I never get that bag, no matter how much like tithes and offerings I paid. Then it all started to hit me, I'm gathering my thoughts, y'all. Trying to decide how I'm gonna, put this, place this, say this. It wasn't till, let me say it like this, it wasn't till after I left Christianity, after I left the church and Christianity, that the bag came for me. As soon as I left, I got that bag. Because I read outside of the Bible, the universal laws, like the law of attraction, the secret. And I'm like, hold up, man, let me study this, let me research this, let me see what it's about. And then I attracted something using the law of attraction. That's when I realized the shit was real. It's a thing of patience. And most people are impatient. But, alright, the thing that got me in church is the pastor gave us, he gave us the, Christians, they get the worst advice ever. Sit back and let God handle it. I know y'all heard that before, right? Sit back, do nothing, and let God handle your problems. What? Hold up. Didn't God give man dominion over the earth, the master of the wealth? So if God gave you dominion over the earth, the master of everything, why would he do everything for you? And for you to sit back and do nothing? Just watch reruns of Sanford and Son, and God gonna just move in your life and do everything for you? That's the worst advice ever. That's the worst advice ever. The power is in you, but the pastor's saying, hey, don't do nothing. Just sit back like this, whatever, and let God do everything. That's the worst advice. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? And then I realized, man, this pastor was a fucking pimp. This pastor got game. This pastor is a player. This pastor is a hustler. The pastor know better than that. He collecting them tithes and offerings, telling you to do nothing. And the bag coming. But the bag never comes. It's not a thing of faith no more. At that point, it's a thing of stupidity. For you to actually believe that shit and do it all that time, and just to believe that shit, blind faith my ass. Blind faith my ass. I feel like this, man. Genesis shouldn't have been no first story, Adam and Eve. No, it should have been the universal laws. In Genesis, that Bible should have started out with the universal laws, the codes, the laws, necessities. It should have been mandatory to learn these laws before you play this game. You shouldn't hear no damn moral story about two people first. You should hear about the laws that govern everything. Even those supposed two people, Adam and Eve. The laws should have been Genesis. The universal law should have been the whole book of Genesis. Damn it, the first law, law of attraction. Last law, law of non-resistance. Then Exodus. All that shit should have happened after. We should have been taught this. Christians, religions should have been taught this shit in church firsthand. I mean, you need to know how to play the game. If you don't know how to play the game, you're gonna fucking fail. You're gonna make stupid mistakes. If that really was God's word, the first word should have been universal laws. Learn these, and then you learn the game of life, how to play the shit. Nowhere in the Bible is there universal laws. It wasn't until after I put that Bible down, said, damn, these 66 books, and read universal laws, read books outside of that Bible. You know what I'm saying? When I noticed the blessings started coming and I felt so free. I didn't feel so restricted. Because there's a lot of restrictions in religion, man. You know, they're against tattoos and all that stuff, piercings. They're against all of that. So you got to compromise yourself just to sit in the church, you know? If you're a Christian on the other end with family that's Christians, man, you should let them hear this video. You should, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully you woke on the other end, man. I'm happy I'm woke, man. There's a price to pay for being woke, but there's a bigger price to pay for being asleep. Like I said, man, I know people in the 60s, 70s still giving tithes and offerings, expecting that bag, and it's not coming. It's not coming. But they feel like, hey, you know, if I kiss ass, you know, the Lord will see my heart is good, and I'm giving that. God put you here so you can go get it. So you can go get it. But if you're between 66 books, you can't get it all in one book, y'all. You can't get it all in one book. If you're just between 66 books, Genesis and Revelations, or the Quran, the recital, or the Quran, the Holy Vedas, any type of religious like doctrine, if you're just in that religious doctrine, you're not going to read anything else outside of that. You're not going to know anything else outside of that. Outside of those religious books. You know, you have to expand your mind. When you're in a religion, man, you're like, you know, you're restricted. You're in a little box. It wasn't until I stepped outside of the box that I saw things for what they really was. And I was like, I wanted to kick past the ass, man. I wanted to kick deacon. I wanted to go hand in hand with the deacons. You know what I'm saying? The usher board, the president of the usher board, all that shit, man. Choir members. I wanted to go hand in hand with them. You know, I felt offended. You know, when I learned the truth, I was like, damn, man, Pastor, I had strong feelings towards Pastor. I'm like, man, I had grands, great-great-grands that died listening to this asshole hustler up here getting that damn money. Tithes and offerings, man. I still see some of my people paying that shit. I'm thinking, yeah, you kissing ass thinking God gonna bless you because you giving tithes and offerings, though. Behind closed doors, you do all kind of crooked shit. You do more crooked shit than a person who ain't religious, a person who won't even go to church. And some of these people go to Sunday school and church every week, but they do more fucking wrong than the people that don't. I'm like, whoa, something ain't working right there, man. Look at your own life as an example at that point. Obviously, you know, this doctrine of Jesus Christ ain't working for your ass. If you're getting out of church doing fucking wrong, intentionally, you know, that's crazy. That's crazy. It's like these Christians use Jesus as a scapegoat. Kiss ass, pay tithes and offerings. Then use Jesus as a scapegoat. You know, God know my heart. That's what they always say, Christians, right? Or they always use this excuse. I'm in the flesh. Well, I'm in the flesh. You know, God know my heart. Yeah, I know your heart too, and it's fucked up. And if that Bible doctrine shit is true, that means your ass going straight to hell when you die. I don't care how many Sundays you go to Sunday school and church. You can go for all 4 Sundays, sometimes 5th Sunday. It don't matter, man. If your heart ain't light as a feather, man, you don't pass this test. And it's like, it's crazy, man. I just look out there like, damn, I'm so happy to be awakened, to be woke, man, to see things for what it is, to be reading the right material. You know, not just laws of attraction, just to read things like the art of seduction, you know, like fearlessness, you know, the 50th law. Just to read books like that, man. Thoth, the Emerald Tablets, stuff like that, man. Shit to expand your mind. A book of Enoch, you know. So I'm glad I'm not a Christian. I'm glad I'm awakened, man. I'm spiritual. I'm awakened, man. Straight up, I'm glad. So if you're awake on the other end, be happy, man. Rejoice in that, for real. Because when you sleep, man, you're so limited. You know what I'm saying? I just had to get that off my chest right there. Peace, my people.